Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm going to share some interesting news that's been taking place. People think that Elon Musk should run for president of the United States because recently he has switched ships, so to speak, and his views have changed given the fact of what he has seen and the dramatic shift. That does look like a presidential picture right there, doesn't it? But the shift that has taken place that he has seen in the United States is is just tremendous. He has seen such a shift in the amount of bullying, first of all, and he was speaking about the fact that he has recently just bought a large percent stake in Twitter, and he's going to make an edit button, and they're calling for him to bring the previous president's Twitter account back, reinstate it. And he said he was saying for a company that holds up holds up to the standards of free speech does not seem to be holding up to its word. And basically, he was taking on our current so-called leader. And when he posted about jobs being created by Ford and General Motors, the billionaire pointed out that America should ramp up its oil and gas production in the face of Russian-Ukrainian war. Musk's takes have won him even more fans than ever, and a few even think that he should run for president of the United States in 2028. I'm starting to think Elon Musk would make one, you know what, HE double hockey sticks of a great president of the United States. Anybody else feel the same way? So if you look, you'll see Musk has a lot of good points of view. And they've actually been shifting, given the fact of what he's witnessing take place and what this leadership is doing. So, he put out in 2020 that he might run in 2024. But we'll see what happens there. Now he's talking about 2028. Not only is yes, he is a major tech innovator. He did. Without him, PayPal would not have taken off. Without him, there would not be as much security in our digital finances. In our even though if you don't have the money, the finances is kind of it's kind of pointless. But digital finances, but the guy has a net worth that beats everyone around, and you just can't you can't do much with that. I mean, when you got that much power, they hate it. That's why they want to cap his wealth. That's why they want to stop him, because he's kind of, honestly, he's a threat to their whole plan. They said he is one of the only people standing in the way of the Great Reset. Elon said, "What's this about the Great Reset? Like, they're going in the wrong direction with it." So he took a U-turn on Twitter, and Elon Musk's opinions might actually shape Twitter's future in a completely different direction, because I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Because it could actually rescue the former president's Twitter account. So we'll have to see. He's buying a large stake in Twitter. And from what I see, his opinions on current events are pretty spot on. I mean, he was speaking with the board of directors at Twitter, saying if free speech is not available for everyone, then there is no free speech. And he was saying, in a democratic nation, you cannot have silencing because of a difference of opinion. And if you do, then that is not democracy. It's not democracy if you silence someone because you don't agree with their opinion. And he's talked about the fact that they are bullying. Those who claim to be about anti-bullying, are they themselves bullying those with a difference in opinion? And I highly agree with that. So it's something to look at, something to look into. At first, he called himself a socialist and a democratic socialist, but yet he was not Democrat or Republican. Now he says he's in between. He's neither Democrat or Republican because there are negative sides in both, and I understand that completely. Politics, differences in beliefs are set about to divide us. Differences in politics, political differences are set about to divide us. It's all division. The media divides us in several ways, whether it's in movies and shows, music, or the entertainment industry, the news media, social media, the soch. It all divides people in different ways, and they continue to try to put out this certain propaganda, or if you don't feel this way, then you're just horrible. It's one thing after another. And big distractions. If one thing doesn't work, if you notice, they try to put out another distraction. And Elon's right about many of those things, that if one thing does not work for them, they continue to try to distract you with another. If one thing does not work, they continue to try to distract you with another next big news segment, a next big distraction, a next big crisis. Read the Reader's Digest from 1961. I've got a very interesting story on that, a personal experience. 1961, November, Reader's Digest. November 1961. There will always be a manufactured crisis. A series of false crises set about to divide the people. And creating racial divide, political divide, belief divide, and systematic divide. Economic and poverty divide. Basically creating divide any way they can to separate us from ourselves, separate us from advancement and evolution of our own society, connecting ourselves with each other. I don't agree with everything that Elon does. I'm doing that again. Elon. Mama usually accidentally said Leon earlier. Now I'm saying Leon. But Elon Musk he is definitely, his Neuralink technology and his other tech that he is working on does lead us toward a system of control. But I understand to an extent that he also has a very good docuseries on YouTube where he discusses the evolution of artificial intelligence and how it's going too far, and that the human population is being depopulated, which is a bad thing because we're going to lose everything that we have, and we're going to let this tech overtake us like an overlord, and then kind of like the beast system mentioned, and he actually talked about that a bit, even though he has different takes on that. And the woman he was with, the girl Grimes, I mean, it's kind of weird, kind of a kooky, relationship they had there, that they were together, then they weren't, then together, then they weren't, then they had a mutual relationship, had another child. They named them some other name that meant dark something or darkness, like space, and then the other child was named X, whatever, representing computer code, and his SpaceX. And the first company Elon ever had was called X. It was called X something or other, I forgot what it was, and it was a financial company that he merged with eBay, and then he bought eBay, and then they made PayPal. He bought PayPal. He made that with a friend called PayPal because he and his pal created this digital financial system for ease of payment and basically banks transacting with banks, but then bypassing that, having a digital means with zeros and ones, coding and kind of like the blockchain ledger thing that they use with cryptocurrencies, but it's like there but not. Basically, bottom line, what it is his digital form of money was a digital form of cash that bypasses the Federal Reserve and federal banking systems, and it's not really like That's what the crypto is. It's a form of currency that is not backed by. It's zeros and ones basically. It's like we use now, but bypassing the banking systems, and then that's what that is. And then it is like a digital transfer of money, and that's it. The amount is represented in code, and then you can transfer it. And he pioneered that. Now, bills and payments, they would not be able to be as easily done if it weren't for that type of system. I will say, if it weren't for the system that he helped pioneer, we wouldn't have the modern world we have today of certain conveniences and instant communications. Now, he's not the only one. I know that Motorola and AT&T, Bell South, Bell South had AT&T, the American Telecom Communication Company, they had a lot to do with the pioneering, and then optical fiber cables and all that, fiber optics, which was originally on copper cables, which was the DSL lines, but all of that transferred over time. He had a lot to do with the financial aspect of things. He pioneered the digital form of payment systems. PayPal he created with a buddy, and then eBay bought them, and then he bought a stake back in it and bought a stake in X, which X is his company, SpaceX, which he recently launched. SpaceX was launched, and they launched several satellites, supposedly to give satellite internet and communications to rural and poor areas. It's actually available in our area if we wanted it now, but satellite internet was available to Ukraine during this crisis, and he provided it, and they didn't want him to do that, but he provided it. And then suddenly Solar Blast supposedly hit Elon Musk's SpaceX satellites. So that was suspicious, very suspicious. They just knocked them offline, 30-something satellites. That doesn't happen. You don't have certain satellites targeted by a sunblast. But anyway, yeah, Elon running for president. That would be interesting. If he did, I would see it being in 2028. Not 24, but I don't know, I can't say. But with him taking the side of freedom of speech, yeah, I know we have to watch. We have to watch these people. It could be wolf in sheep's clothing. It could be a serpent hidden in a suit. I don't know. But, I don't know. He is holding up for the people. And he's one of the last people you would think would have done that, but he sure does seem to be taking the side of the people and freedom of speech. What do you think? What are your takes on this? Please give me your thoughts. It's interesting to see that playing out and how it might unfold. I mean, kind of fascinating. Elon Musk to be taking the side of the common people with a net worth of $243 billion or whatever dollars he has, and then now rising, given the fact he bought a stake in Twitter, and his popularity has gone up, I think 80% now. He has 80 million followers, and they're rising, and his searches for him went up 23%, and his support has gone up. So we'll see what happens. All right. Much love, everyone. This is documentation. What do you think? What do you think will happen? What do you think? Do you really think he's legitimate on this? I really do. I think he has seen what's going on, because he really does want the best for, AI. Artificial intelligence is a dangerous thing, can be, and he sees ways to try to avoid possible calamity with it. And he sees ways that we don't need this, what they're calling the Great Reset, and that he's against the way they're going about it. And you have to be extremely intelligent to do what he has done anyway. Think about it. To have pioneered technology in the way he did, at the same time as innovating and running his businesses and being so business-minded. It's not like he was just handed the two, all that, it's just, you see, obviously, he has very valid points, very good points, and they do have too much control. They really have too much control. And they're not liking the fact that Elon is gaining some control back buying his $3,700,000,000 stake in Twitter. So, let me know what you think on this. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. And you tell me what you think if I post this. This is Documentation, signing out.